You know, I was sitting here and I thought to myself, self, this is fucking bullshit. This is just kind of weird. I have detected, smelt, sort of sensed statistically anomalous activity. Three weeks. Shut down government. FBI agents are starting to look for jobs. Yeah, because, who the fuck needs those? um, my wife just sent me a text message. Sorry, got a little distracted there for a second. She wants to go to this convention. There's a sci-fi con going to New Orleans, and Brett Spiner and Kevin Sorbo and all kinds of different fucking people are going to be there. I think it said Anthony Bourdain, but he's dead, so he's not. Well, I mean, could be a showing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Anthony Bourdain would laugh his ass off at that, though. I just saw this headline: FBI agents are starting to look for more stable forms of income. As if they were seasonal migrant workers. Like, are you fucking serious? They say aquariums help you relax. Pretty sure if I didn't have fucking fish tanks to stare at right now, I would have just vibrated my own fucking molecular structure apart by now. Ah! What's up, Jordan? What's up, everybody? If anybody else say hey, say hey yet? You got 4 people watching. The chats work, people. The chats work. Well, I mean, they might. I don't really know. They might not work. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyways. So fucking. I just woke up from a nap, obviously. Meh. I think I look good in a plaid blanket. Yeah, so this is a look for me right here. Yeah. This is how I attended my bar mitzvah. Oh. I didn't have a bar mitzvah. I went to this church, this little Pentecostal church that celebrated Passover once. Did that count? I don't think they had bar mitzvahs there. But the way they were talking, it wouldn't surprise me if they wound up doing that sooner or later. They were trying to get back into their Jewishness. You Did I mention Cajuns were Jews? They don't even know it? Like, not Jews, not of the tribe of Judah. They're Hebrews. The very children of Esther and Cyrus. Yep. You know, daughter of David. Why do you think the Akkadians exist to this day? The Akkadians. They were kicked out of Persia because they were Jews. Then they were kicked out of France for being Jews. And they went to Canada. All Christians, but still Jews. Technically, right? And I tell you what, this looks like a very white nose, doesn't it? Well, Cajuns, like every other different tribe of Israel that's all throughout the world, being confused with white people, black people, Asian people, all kinds of people. They got all kinds of different fucking noses. But that now there's a kitten on my fucking arm. Really, kitten? Really? Come on, just fucking find someplace to be. Ah. Don't look at me like that. Pitiful, cute bastard. Well, Accadiana, Accadiana. That's the French pre-Creole, Cajun areas of Louisiana. And I think it goes up in a little bit into Missouri. A little bit into Texas. Village by village, kind of. And what you notice about Cajuns, and I just got, my dad has a little tiny German button nose. Okay. My grandpa, on my mom's side, however, he doesn't have any kind of weird down-turn thing that most people would see as Judah. Okay. But one thing Cajuns have, and my grandpa had, was just really big noses. Like just a normal-looking white person nose, just swollen up a little bit. And I'm just thinking, if the Romans got their big noses from Jews, did the Cajuns get their big noses from Jews? Could be. But that union with Esther and the king of Persia, I think came to dominate the house of Akkad, and that's why they fell, was because they converted to Judaism. They were Hebrews. And ultimately, during the time period at which Jews were being hunted down in Europe, that is when the Acadians from the south of France went first to Canada and then to Louisiana. It's funny how being up close to Russia didn't work out for him. And Mr. Conway got no notification for the video. Typical. My wife wants ideas for dinner. If anybody can message my wife and tell her I'm live streaming, that'd be great. I just woke up. I have no idea what I want to eat. It'll be a while before I need to eat, because I had 5 cookies today. I'm good. Anyways, if any of my future viewers have problems with anorexia, have problems with appetite, stomach issues that keep you from being able to gain or maintain weight, no GNC products, no fucking energy drink or Boost or Ensure, none of that shit. It's as good as Keebler's soft batch fucking cookies. I love those things. Oh, you don't even have to chew them. Just fucking put them in the microwave and just like do them like Oreos. Only just like take a sip. Just put the cookie in your mouth, take a sip of milk, and just let it dissolve. Turns right back into cookie dough. But they are not by any means any sort of thing that can be confused with a raw or undercooked cookie. They're fucking delicious. And seem to me, based on the feeling that I get, I eat lots of these cookies. Like they wind up being, on some days, 100% of my diet. Sean recommends Guinness. I'm screenshotting that. I usually just screenshot when you say that, you know, you didn't get a notification or something, but yeah, I'm going to screenshot that too. Just recommend Guinness. Yeah. Anyways. Fuck. So blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. What was I talking about? Now I'm just thinking about getting drunk in a fucking Irish pub. I know I was talking about the Acadians, but what the fuck point was I just making? Oh yeah, easy on the stomach. Easy on the stomach. High in iron, plenty of sugars, meal in a can or a glass. Meal in a glass. There we go. Meal in a glass. I was talking about cookies. That's right. I don't think Guinness and cookies would work very well though. Maybe some Kahlua. Anyways, Kahlua and milk with my chocolate chip cookies. That's how you know you're a real alcoholic. Fucking Kahlua with your milk and cookies. But the specific point I was making before I got distracted by happy thoughts of Guinness and Irishness. You know how like when you eat processed food too much, too often, you kind of feel it. You can feel the preservatives. You can just feel the, I don't get that from Keebler Soft Batch. I get that from other brands of cookies. You know? Like if I can't afford Keebler Soft Batch, or if I, you know, like they don't have them or whatever, I'll get some of them fucking generic vanilla creams or something like that. Just something so I could fucking choke down and fucking make my stomach stop growling when I just can't appetize fucking anything. And well, as you know, I have a fucking weirdly large head, and it needs a lot of fatty acids and sugars to run gray matter. But those cookies right there, 0 cholesterol, plenty of fat, giant chunks of really high quality chocolate, like full size chips, man, not little tiny fucking chiplets. Like sometimes you like it's like when grandma made them, you know, you'll get those some cookies that are just like nothing but a bunch of chocolate chips with like some dough holding them together. You know, you get those in this. You get those. You know, I'm saving you for the last in the row. Maybe I'll give it to my wife because she's been a good girl. Oi, oi, oi. So anyways, now that everybody's here, and I think, let's see, we got Conway, Jordan, and Emily, and there was somebody else that was watching. They didn't click like before they left, so they might have been the troll. Now that they're gone, let me get back to the point. Oh yeah, I love it when the fucking weather turns cold like this. Sorry about that, y'all. I know that's disgusting. I apologize. Now we turn off the fucking house fan. And on to the heater. Because I'm fucking like sniveling and shit. I'm gonna have to mute it so I can. Let me mutant. No, mute it so I can turn the. So I can blow my nose. That wound up being like 3 times more fucking toilet paper than I needed. Okay. Oh, my ear popped. Oh wow. Oh. I just remembered that I finished my fucking lower view chassis design earlier. 556 horsepower. No. $716 horsepower. Yeah. With 908 pounds-foot of torque. That's with 2 electric motors and 2 V6s. And I think this is a genuinely good-looking truck design. Obviously, I haven't drawn it out very well so far, but like, it's got potential. Like, it's got potential to like actually look good. And I'm designing it to be convertible, as far as, you know, conversion van type convertibility. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's that. I forget about that because they don't bring them over here, but they do have new turbo diesel 4-cylinders. Speaking of turbo diesel, you know it would be a great fucking power plant for an independent truck manufacturer? Audi's turbo diesel. Like, why hasn't that become a thing yet? Like, who the fuck trains these people in marketing and stuff? Like, what the fuck? Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Le Mans racing series, prototype racing, okay, basically it's um, the secret type of racing that's a million times better than NASCAR, but for some reason nobody fucking watches because it's, you know, not hold my beer and watch this shit. Basically poor marketing. That's why. Just poor marketing. Excuse me, sorry. Well, they had, Audi did. I think they, no, they're not using it anymore at all, are they? It's a petrol prototype now. Gasoline engine plus hybrid electric. But before that, their last non-hybrid cars were, what was it, 7-liter 10-cylinder turbo diesels in 900 kilogram prototypes, making allegedly up to 1,538 horsepower and 1,378 pounds-feet of torque. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering those correctly, because they've always just kind of been, you know, some of my favorite numbers, you know. 1,378 pounds-feet of torque. Oh. Oh. They are not no-lag turbos. No. No. And the reason why I know this is because of interviews with Alan McNish, one of the championship drivers of Team Audi Sport, talking about how you really have to get used to the timing of, like, when you hit the gas and then the power is going to come on, and if you hit it just a little bit too hard when it comes on, it's going to come on too much and spin you. But that car there in the simulator is a bit of a handful. I love it. I love it. I would totally drive that fucker in real life too. I've gotten the feel for it. It's just, you have to drive it with pure respect. Like, and as long as you do that, it's fine. It just does things that cars shouldn't be able to do. Right. The no lag, okay, let me just be clear. The no lag turbos are the instant throttle response turbos, usually garnered by having a big turbo and a small turbo, and sort of a valving system that will allow you to start on the little turbo, get initial launch, and not have any lag before switching over to the boost of the larger turbo spool. And yes, that can be unreliable because of heat issues, having multiple turbos in a small area, and because you're adding multiple parts and multiple oil ports. So Audi's turbo diesel was what you called a high lag turbo. You know, fucking stage 4, they didn't always use stage 4, but even their stage 3 was a still pretty high lag turbo. And that's the kind of thing where you like, You start hitting the gas pedal and you just gotta wait and you gotta hope that you hit the gas pedal the right amount, because if too much power winds up spooling up, oh shit. And then you wind up get the feeling kind of like you do driving a giant fucking pickup truck, okay? You know, like a big old BMWs that go, the valves, huh? If they've got some sort of valving for pressure control management in there, that wouldn't be surprising. But also, yeah, the abruptness of the large amount of power in a smaller engine. You know, that's what turbos are for, to make more power out of a small engine. Um, but the abruptness of the power could cause very rough warm up periods. You know what I'm saying? Like the physical valves on the engine is what you're talking about, Conway. That sounds to me like, you know, when that happens to most cars. Let me just put it this way: that's because people fucking hitting the gas too hard before the car warms up, and you know, brittle cold metal tends to fuck up. Um, but still, like I said, more moving parts, more oil lines. That's just never a good idea to me. That's why I don't like turbos to begin with. You know, don't put my fucking oil, the oil that's you know you need to keep the engine going at all, right? Valuable shit. The less places it can leak from, the better to me. That's why I don't like turbos. Huh. Yeah, so um he says then they go and basically the bad valves destroy your turbo. So for, you know, semi car viewer types or layperson viewers, that's just a matter of the valves not closing all the way, then the heat fucking from the motor uh, building up in excess on the turbos. Okay, so anyways, my wife's home, so I gotta go. Shit. Let me put it on mute and see if I can get some coffee out of a teenager. So I hold him upside down and shake him, and then we'll get. I want to talk about the lack of terrorist things. All right, hold on. All right, I have no idea. Take your time. Fuck, I don't care. I just want coffee. I'm not whining about it. I'm just like, don't worry about coming back soon. I'm happy. You're making coffee. See, somebody's making coffee, and it's not me. All right. So, anyways, huh. So the first knock was the neighbor. I thought it was my wife, but um, wound up just like talking some business about floodproof buildings and whatnot. And he just got to see some classified information. This the $1 billion notebook. Like, well, yeah. Now I see that is in fact a $1 billion notebook. And anyways, so excuse me. Sorry about the delay. I don't know how long it was trying to reconnect, but by the time I got back to it, it did say reconnect. So I was like, oh well, let me just go ahead and get everything fucking handled. My wife came home before I got back. And what were we talking about?
About you.
Oh, for fuck's sake, really? Don't even fucking start. That's 3 days in a row of just immediate at each other's throats. I have not had coffee yet. Don't make any sort of noise resembling around me when I haven't had coffee. Unless you're one of those people who enjoys skydiving and cliff climbing. Poking sleeping bears. Anyways. So yes, we was talking about the Akkadians and how they may in fact all be the descendants, the royal family of Persia and Israel. And that would be the secret claim to fame of Mary Magdalene, as well as the tie-in. Are you I'm looking for a large object with which to bludgeon the children to death. Hold on. Again. To have dinner or not to have dinner? That is the question. I'm about to just say, fuck it, let's not have dinner.
There's only 2 plates that need to be washed. Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Fighting with each other. While I'm in the middle of a damn sentence. And I still have not had coffee.
It's still brewing.
So, you know, that's not going well. Before I've had coffee, I can't really form sentences quickly without sort of using fuck as like an anchor conjunction. Just, you know, every other syllable or so, just to keep the rhythm going. Fuck do you fucking people think you're fucking doing without giving me fucking coffee in the fucking morning? It's fucking 5 in the fucking morning. Fucking shit. Oh, but no, if it were 5 in the morning, I wouldn't have had this much sleep. I would have just had my little 20-minute blink. I managed to sleep a solid 6 hours. I slept so well I woke up disoriented. But I didn't have any dreams about weird flatworm spider things. Oh, that was epic. I had the most epic. Like, I woke up. You ever have such a fucking horrifying dream, but like you're a horror movie fan, that like you wake up and you're just like, yes, that was awesome. I did that just the other day. I woke up and I just out loud exclaimed, yes, that was awesome. Not going to be on much longer. I want to tell that dream story, and I wanted to get back to the main point of the video. Basically, this fucking flatworm, I don't know if I told the story yet on the fucking channel. I don't know. There was a flatworm, like a luminescent, at first it looked like a fairy nudibranch. Okay? One of the deadly poisonous little blue fairy nudibranchs, right? And it was flying or floating in the air as if I were beneath the surface of water. And I just woke up and my dad was sitting in the middle of a room on like a spinning chair, and there was like a couch over here, and my wife and my teenagers were basically laughing at me.
Because it's what we do.
Yeah, because it's what they do. Um, while this very fucking deadly poisonous tapeworm, flatworm thing, it like started out as a fairy wrasse and then it became like a flatworm, was hovering over me, and I was sitting there trying to protect myself with the covers because I just woke up. I was on my bed. And I'm sitting there, what the hell is that? And my dad's sitting there just nonchalantly spinning in his chair, explaining it. And then, like, I start trying to get out of bed, and then it just starts hovering right over towards me. It's like fucking going like this. And I, grown-ass man, almost 40 years old, say, Dad, help! Dad! Dad! Get it! Dad! As if I'm a fucking teenage girl with a wasp after her. And I woke up just laughing and like horrified and laughing. That was just the best little fucking dream ever. It's like a fucking fairy wrasse that turned into like this hand-sized white, like colored kind of like a blue ringed octopus. Okay, like iridescent and spotted and color changing and kind of like in the air. And like, you know, if it was just a flatworm, that wouldn't have been that horrifying. But it's a flying flatworm that apparently shapeshifted from a fucking deadly poisonous fairy wrasse. And no matter how nonchalant my dad's explanations, it just wasn't really comforting me. Anyways. So, I noticed something interesting, dear.
Oh.
There's been something that's been happening with great frequency lately. In fact, there's been a few things that have been happening with great frequency lately. Mass shootings. Terrorist bomb threats on public facilities, etc. And even waves of migrants. All of these things, I've claimed, could somehow be instigated, if not directly coordinated, by Russian intelligence services in order to distract as the subsequent major Mueller investigation revelations have come to light. Because the timing of these incidences has just been profoundly useful for Trump. This isn't the first Trump shutdown. It will now have been, as of tomorrow, gone for 3 entire weeks of 21 days. And this, like the other shutdowns, and because of the length of this one, the data has now become anomalous, has been a period of no such major incidences. I mean, you could just imagine how bad that would look for Trump if there was a new wave of migrants approaching the border while border guard agents weren't being paid. You can imagine what a you know, the need for a big FBI terrorist investigation into another mass shooter or something like that. That would really look bad during a furlough. How convenient that nothing like that has happened. during and only during, it seems, the Trump shutdowns. Isn't that fascinating? That data has become anomalous to the point where there is only about a 17% likelihood that there is not a connection. Now, what is the actual explanation to the correlation of the events? Could it be strategic instigation or actual coordinated effort? No way of telling. But if the Russians needed Manafort to give them the polling data, and Trump seems to know a day or two ahead of the public when those different parts of the Mueller investigation are being released. He always seems to prepare for them, doesn't he? He always has something planned to distract from it. That tells me he knows about it the night before or something like that, day before. Sometimes it seems like it's been up to 4 or 5 days before. He'll know about it on the Friday night, and then it'll come out on the Monday. And he'll have all weekend to plan the fucking distraction for Monday. Everybody talk about the wall. Everybody talk about the big speech I'm going to make. That's what happened this time. But in previous instances, there's been these fucking shootings and shit. Were they instigated as a result of Trump calling up his friends in Russia and saying, I need a little distraction? And I don't mean a toilet hooker. You know that Trump employee questionnaire where they ask you just, would you let R. Kelly pee on you? It did seem kind of random until the dossier came out. Yeah. I just can't stop with the R. Kelly jokes. Huh? What can I say? I've got bladder problems. What? Anyways. So, I'm glad I'm sitting Indian style. Let me just see if there's any local or, late breaking news that YouTube will actually tell me about. There was a bunch of fucking pro-Trump protesters there in McAllen. Just looking really generic, and none of them sounded like they were from McAllen. McAllen's got a very valley-ish, surprisingly valley-ish accent. Even the Hispanic accent still has this sort of like white girl California valley girl thing to it. And that's why they call it the Rio Grande Valley. You know, it's the valley. It's called the valley. And I'm just saying it's one of them places where you can tell when people are from there. And they had a bunch of fucking pro-Trump protesters, and the ones that they interviewed didn't sound to me like they were from there. Anyways. Right wing spreads fake nude photo of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They really, anybody who works for Russia, whether you're on the right or the left, your job is to promote that girl right there, the Democratic Socialist. You think they're doing her any sort of disfavor by first they want to spread the dancing video, now they're spreading a nude photo of her. That's gonna hurt her popularity. How? It's a fake nude photo, but still, see what I'm saying? This is like, you can raise the conscious negative, but you're raising the subconscious positive much further with things like the dancing and the yeah, talking about 70% tax over $10 million. Just neuter America's ability to defend itself, basically. Neuter America's big businesses. Neuter America's big banks and all of our strong financial institutions. Just fucking destroy them. That's what she wants to do. Wouldn't that make Putin happy? Yeah, I think it would make Putin fucking ecstatic. And that's why Fox News wants you to grumble a little bit or even get annoyed with their hosts as they grumble. But all the while, you're getting to hear that populist message she's saying over and over again. That same populist message that pretty much got Trump elected. Anyways, not necessarily that she's a compromised person, just that, she's picked for her state of brainwashedness, just like so many people are. Unlike the Trumps, they've been fucking working with the Russians since the 80s. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click the like button. Thanks for hanging out and chatting. And make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. Y'all take it easy. Don't take it all. I'll be on later. Maybe. Probably. Peace.